This is a 2024 BMW i4 eDrive 35e with the 19-inch wheels. This is a 2024 Tesla Model 3 Performance. Now, this is a performance model and this is a non-M model, but the reason I'm comparing them today is because this starts at 52 and the Model 3 ends at 52. So this is the topped out Model 3, this is a beginning i4. Now I do have the sticker for the i4. So this specific one has Dravit Gray Metallic Paint, $1,500, has the Showdown package which adds black accents in various places around the vehicle to give it a sportier look. This color is also incredible. It also has the M Sport package, which gives it an adaptive M suspension. Remember, this has an adaptive M suspension. It has variable sport steering. They both have that. It has 19-inch 859M bicolor wheels. These have 20-inch forged wheels. These are not forged wheels. These only weigh 20 pounds a piece for a 20-inch wheel. That's remarkable from the factory. The BMW also has the $1,900 premium package, which is like heated seats, lumbar support, that type of stuff, and the M Sport Pro package, which is why it has the Showdown lights, and it also has the red brake calipers on this is a great option. A lot of BMW M Sport packages come with the traditional blue brakes. I think red or black is a good way to differentiate your BMW from others. So we are going to compare these both side by side today. I think BMW makes a great package, and I did this comparison before, but on the older Model 3. So things like ride quality, the adaptive suspension, we're going to talk about all of that in today's comparison. So the BMW cost $60,645 in this spec, and my Model 3 was $55,490. Starting with storage. Zero storage up front in the BMW. Again, I feel like this is poor packaging because you're able to, without an engine, have all of this space up front for some type of storage. BMW has zero. Over the Tesla, they have a nice amount of storage here, which can be really useful on road trips. Maybe you have things that get muddy or wet, and you can throw all that up here and leave it out of the cabin of the vehicle. Now, where they are more comparable is in the trunk. So on the BMW here, and you can see again, we have the black deck lid spoiler here, and then over on this side, we have a carbon fiber spoiler here. So you can see how close the comparison gets and how for your money, you actually get a fairly similar vehicle. And we'll talk about build quality as well. This is a Grand Coupe, so you have this hatchback opening, so massive opening in the back of the BMW, and there is extra storage down below here, which is nice. You got to give credit where it's due. This is very similar to what Tesla has. So over in the Model 3, and this is again offered on every Tesla, you have, well, I have 3D mats I'm about to put in my Model 3. We'll be showing those shortly. You've got a massive storage compartment here as well. I think the storage compartments on these is fairly similar, and you have storage on both ends here, and you have storage on both ends here. So again, the back is really nice. The big difference is, this being a Grand Coupe, you're open in from the trunk into the cabin is all the same air quality control. So those seats fold down and you have storage in the back. But before we get too deep into the interior of the vehicle, I do want to give a shout out to today's sponsor, CCAN Action Fund, who is giving away 2 vehicles. Guys, the threat of climate change grows worse and worse every day. Wildfires, heat waves, floods, which is why we told you earlier this summer about one of the best nonprofits fighting climate change, CCAN Action Fund, who is running their annual EV raffle fundraiser. And here are 3 reasons why you should buy a ticket right now to win a Rivian, Tesla, or Ioniq 5 to help Chesapeake Climate Action Network Action Fund. Reason 1, the tickets are way undersold. The drawing is less than 30 days away and there's still about a third of the tickets unsold. That means the chances of any one ticket holder winning a car are ridiculously good. But wait, there's more. This year, each ticket in this raffle actually gets you not 1, but 2 chances to win. And here's the second reason to buy. The prizes are amazing. First place gets you your choice of a Rivian R1S, R1T, the Tesla Model X Plaid, or even the hard-to-get Cybertruck. Second place gets you the amazing Hyundai Ioniq 5, which I've reviewed on this channel. And the third reason is our friends at CCAN Action Fund do amazing work, and they will take the proceeds of this to directly fight climate change. much. To enter, visit www.evraffle.org. That's evraffle.org. Tickets are only $200, and again, the drawing is big time undersold. So visit evraffle.org, get your ticket, and good luck to all of you. All right, so on to the interior here. I've already adjusted this front seat to give me an appropriate amount of room. Again, I'm 6 feet tall, so we're gonna jump into the back and see how that is. So, a little tight on approach. Seat comfort is great. You actually have a decent amount of space. It's a little tight. You just feel like kind of boxed in back here. On the center console here, you have 2 air vents. You have control of your airflow back here in 2 USB-C ports, as well as an armrest center console with 2 cup holders. Additionally, if you guys are interested in renting this vehicle, this is a rental car from EV Access. Justin was kind enough to let me take it for a few hours to do this comparison. He has a fleet of over 200 electric vehicles. So if you're thinking of buying a new Model 3 Highland, or you want to try Model S or X or whatever, Justin has them. I will have his company linked down below so you can rent them in the Phoenix area. They're near the airport. If you're flying in the future, EV Access is the place to get your rentals from. Extremely well done. So that's where I got this vehicle. Now, the other thing is the charging speed. So the max charging speed on this is 180 kilowatts. The max charging speed on the Model 3 Performance is 250 kilowatts. The Model 3 has 303 miles of range. This is around 230 miles of range. But I will put a graphic up on the screen to see what Edmunds got in their 70-mile-per-hour range test on the highway. I'll have that on the screen because I feel like this probably outperforms its mileage, and I think Tesla with the new EPA standards is probably delivering a lot closer to than how they previously were. So now let's take a look at how we fit in the Model 3. I'll adjust my front seat here. When you make those types of sounds, you know it's not like an easy car to get in. So, you know, we can go off of sound a little bit. So the big difference in the Model 3, the immediate difference you notice, there's more headroom and you feel less cramped in this area. Also, you have a massive screen back here. So you're able to watch YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, play games back here, maybe while you're at a charging stop or whatnot. But this screen is just beautiful. You have 2 USB-C ports, and then you have control over your air conditioning as well. So, very similar. Now the quality is so much better on Teslas that this comparison in terms of quality, BMW being a traditional German luxury brand, Tesla has now caught up in a lot of ways. The other thing to note as far as charging goes, now I'm not going to be doing extensive charging tests in this video, but I have taken this BMW to a Tesla charger, and with an adapter, the one I use is from Lectron. With an adapter, you are able to plug in and use the Tesla network. All you need is the Tesla app, you plug in, and you're good to go. So that was really helpful when I did my cross-country trip in my Rivian. You do have access with BMWs, and that makes owning and road tripping an EV way less stressful because the charging network is so reliable. Power trunk. So you can see, I mean, there's so many areas that these cars are similar, and as far as the cost goes, is the premium for the BMW worth it? That's what we're gonna try and figure out in this video. God, I didn't even get it. How about how, like, your mom growing up, she'd like pull something out of the oven with her bare hands, and then there's me. It looks like, you know, all I ever did was type on a keyboard my whole life. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is drive the Tesla Model 3. We're gonna drive it, and then we are going to drive the BMW. We're gonna hop in one, hop in the other, back to back to give like a true feel of what it's like. All right, now the big change that you're going to see when you get into the Model 3 is there are no shift stocks here. So the best part is no part, that's their policy. So to shift the car, you just press forward to go forward and you're good to go. And then it shows you how to drive. That's for gas. So that's good. Now the other thing, this has cooled seats. Every new Model 3 comes standard with cooled seats now. That BMW does not, even at $60,000. So I think that's a miss by them. I think it is an option though. I will have it up on the screen if it is an option in the BMW configurator. That Tesla has always been hit for is build quality, ride quality, cabin noise. They've absolutely fixed the ride quality on this, especially the Model 3 Performance, because now it is damped. So now you have a setting when you click on the car here, you go to dynamics, and then you can pick how fast you want the car to accelerate. So in insane mode, you can go 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds if you want to get more range. Throw it into chill mode, slows the car down. Now you have ride and handling. We're in standard, which is what I leave the car in, and you can also have sport mode. And basically what that does is it changes the damping on the vehicle. We also have steering weight over here. You can do light, standard, heavy, and the BMW has this as well when you put it into sport mode. But in sport mode, it basically tightens up the damping and gives you a sportier ride. So where I notice it most is we're gonna go over a speed bump here in sport mode. So we'll go over it at 20. And the follow through on the suspension, it goes boom, boom, and sits down. Now, when I put it into standard mode, there's an extra bounce back there. So that's like the best way to feel it and test it. And then all of the little rivets on the road and things like that, those are all more feedback through the steering wheel. So that's useful when you're going to a racetrack or autocross, or if you want to feel it on the back road. But really, I feel like standard mode is more than enough. So they did a really nice job adding that. These don't need air suspensions, it's too complicated. I just think they did a really nice job damping this. Now, the other big benefit to Tesla's ecosystem, and I hate that term, but that's what it is. The Tesla ecosystem, you have the chargers that are vertically integrated into the vehicle. So it knows how many are available, it knows what the costs are, it has all of that, and it even tells you if they're up and running, and if they're not, it'll reroute you to another one. So, in terms of an EV, now BMW makes great cars, we're not denying that. I'm just saying, in terms of an EV, Tesla is killing it, but BMW has an offering that is also excellent, and I'll show you when we drive that in a minute here. The other thing you may be wondering is BMW has the beautiful iDrive system in their vehicle, and that does have the ability to get software updates. This has had some software updates so far in the screen. It's been really nice. This also has Sentry mode in it. I couldn't think of the term because it's 101 degrees and 40% humidity outside, so we're dying. Which is great because remotely you can view and access your vehicle. You can see what's going on around it. It's all recorded and saved to a USB drive. That can be great for accidents or if someone breaks into your car. Yeah, it's awesome. So the interior in this is amazing. I will say, for some reason, the BMW's air conditioning is better in the drive that I've done so far in it. It shoots ice cold air out, and this cools down, but you always feel like you're kind of messing with the air conditioning system. Again, I'm in Phoenix. I'm in an extreme environment, but a lot of you guys are in Phoenix. It's just something that I've noticed owning a Tesla. I just feel like I don't know what they're doing, if it has to do with efficiency of the vehicle. They don't, do they use an off-brand Freon? I don't know how air conditioning units work, but I just have noticed the performance of the BMW. It cools down and blows out cold air. This blows down okay air. This blows out, chilly air. So we're in chill mode, but just to give you guys an understanding, you can't even really appreciate it till you drive it, but it has 510 horsepower, and when you take it on a road like this, I mean, you quietly and efficiently, and it floats, like that's what, it just floats over these turns. Like, I don't feel like the car is out of hand. I don't feel like it's stiff. It is a pleasure to drive the Model 3 Performance. I'm truly like impressed with the cost of this and everything. The cost of this, the build quality, everything. And this also has sports seats. So before the Model 3 Performance, the difference was like red brake calipers and the bigger wheels. Essentially, those were the differences with the carbon fiber spoiler. There was very little, you had to take a good eye to know which was a Performance and which wasn't. So now they've differentiated with the new front bumper and the newer spoiler on the back and the new diffuser in the back, and it sits lower, wheeled, everything. It's just a much more performance-oriented vehicle. So now that we've driven the Model 3 Performance, let's hop into the BMW i4 and see what that's like. All right, so jumping into the BMW, again, it has an M Sport steering wheel, really nice feeling steering wheel. Heated right here, both have heated steering wheels, and this wheel comes specific in the M Sport package. The other big difference is the iDrive 8 system is gorgeous. This massive screen that covers across the front here, BMW is going to give you the same feeling you would get in their gas-powered cars. So you have your speed limit in front of you, you have this screen over here that also has Apple CarPlay wireless, which is very nice. Tesla does not offer that, but their UI is so good. I don't really miss it, but on the other hand, my wife loves having Apple CarPlay, so I get that people absolutely love that. The ride quality of this is excellent. I'd say they are about the same as far as ride quality goes. I can't pick out one being better than the other. If anything, this is probably better simply because it has 19-inch wheels with a thicker tire. That has high-performance summer tires on it, very thin sidewall. So this probably rides a little bit better, but they both feel very good on this road. Again, the air conditioning in this thing, just blowing ice cold air. Down on the shifter here, you see it says D or B. Currently we're in D mode, but when you put it into B mode, you get a lot more regenerative braking. And so that's just a recuperation system that puts energy back into the battery as opposed to having to use the brakes, which I think is really nice because it's less brake dust, all that type of stuff, but you do have to reset that every time you get into the vehicle. You have to put it into B mode. So, I don't know, I just think this car on the interior is gorgeous. You have an insane amount of apps, very few of which you'll ever actually use. You have Spotify here natively, and then you can go into vehicle settings. Let's see here, on live vehicle, you can see how much horsepower. This is kind of a cool screen, the horsepower and torque. So that's a cool screen there. And like I said earlier, it does have different drive modes. So down here, when I put it into sport mode, the car firms up. The steering gets heavier and the suspension stiffens up, and you kind of feel that immediately, as well as the throttle response. There's also sounds pumped into the cabin as you're driving along, so when you hit the accelerator, it gives you a sound, which I actually think they're fairly well done. I don't mind when electric cars have sounds on the inside to enhance it. I think it's really goofy when they have them on the outside of the vehicle. It's just kind of like, what's the point? But yeah, we're currently in sport mode, and the car feels great. All right, so right here, you can see your iconic sounds. If you click that, now these sounds are on. And then if you go over here to charging, you can see the charging mode immediately. So you can plug in, that means it'll immediately charge. Or you can select time slot, that way it will start at a certain time. That's mainly for home charging. You can have a departure plan so the car is cooled down. You can set your charging current limit, and then you can set your battery charge limit, currently set to 100%. Unlock, you can precondition, all that type of stuff. It's really nice, as well as location-based charging, so you can have different settings based on where you're at. So pretty well done in terms of, it shows you your charging speed as you're charging the vehicle. That was really well done. You know, it's well done. BMW has done a nice job building an electric vehicle. It's really well done based on the 4 Series. So yeah, I'm impressed with this. There's a lot of good lease deals on these right now, but I just wanted to bring it to your attention because a lot of people don't want where Tesla has the screen and everything is software based. This brings you the nice driving experience that electric vehicle provides. No engine, very little maintenance, all that type of stuff is really great. But then you're also able to enjoy the luxuries of a BMW, which is really nice as well. So I just think that this is a solid vehicle. Yeah, the range isn't great on paper, but a lot of people aren't worried about road trips. And I also think still, you know, having at least, if you have more than two, if you have 2 or more cars, having one of them as an electric car is probably a good idea, or at least worth considering if it's in your budget. Used Teslas cost nothing, used BMWs cost nothing, electric vehicles. This has an 8-year, 100,000-mile warranty on the battery. The Tesla Model 3 has 8 years, 120,000-mile warranty on the battery. And that's the big thing that everyone thinks, oh, it's going to fail, what's that going to cost? It's like, well, you're covered up until 100 or 120,000 miles, depending on which one you go with. I'd say you're in pretty good shape. That takes a lot of the risk away from it. No oil changes, transmission fluids, spark plugs, all those things that make owning a BMW expensive are eliminated by owning an electric BMW. So I think this is a very solid option. I obviously think the Model 3 is great, and it'll be up to you guys to decide in the end. Now, if you want to see how my Tesla Model 3 compares to Subaru's WRX TR, click this video right here. I think you'll really enjoy that. The Subaru WRX TR really shocked me. I think that's what the title says, I'm shocked. So go see why I was shocked in this video right here.